Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, when did I start feeling older than I really am? Maybe your body feels heavier, your mind slower, or you just don't have the same spark you once did. It's a strange thing, because age is just a number, but how we feel each day can make that number seem much bigger or much smaller. And here's the truth, you don't need expensive treatments, complicated routines, or even endless hours at the gym to bring that youthful energy back. Sometimes, it's about what we do in the very first hours of the day, before 8 a.m., that sets the tone for the rest of our lives. Think about it. Morning is like the foundation of a house. If the base is solid, everything built on top of it stands stronger. But if the base is shaky, the whole structure wobbles. That's exactly how our mornings affect our bodies and minds. By shaping those first hours intentionally, we can create a ripple effect of energy, clarity, and vitality that carries us all day long. So today, I want to share with you 5 simple things you can do before 8 a.m. that can make you feel 20 years younger. These aren't complicated tricks or impossible challenges. They're small, practical habits that anyone can start, no matter their age or current fitness level. And I promise, if you give them a fair try, you'll notice changes not just in your body, but in how your mind and spirit feel too. Let's start with the simplest but most powerful one, drinking water right after you wake up. I know, it sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? But think about this, your body has just gone 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours without a sip of water. That's nearly a third of your day. During the night, your body is still working, repairing cells, cleaning out waste, balancing hormones, and it uses up fluids in the process. When you wake up, you're naturally dehydrated. And dehydration, even a mild one, can make you feel tired, achy, foggy, and older than you really are. Now, imagine what happens when the very first thing you give your body in the morning is a glass of water. It's like pouring fresh oil into an engine before starting it. Suddenly, things run smoother. Your joints loosen up, your digestion kicks in, and your brain sharpens. I like to think of that first glass of water as a gentle wake-up call for every cell in your body, saying, all right, it's time to get moving. Some people prefer room temperature water, others like it warm with a squeeze of lemon. The lemon adds vitamin C and helps with digestion, but plain water works beautifully too. The key is consistency. 1 glass every morning, before coffee, before tea, before breakfast. Do this, and over time you'll notice less stiffness, more energy, and a brighter mood, simply because you're starting your day hydrated. Once you've refreshed your body from the inside, the next step is to wake it up from the outside, and that means movement. Don't worry, I'm not talking about running a marathon at sunrise or lifting heavy weights. I'm talking about gentle, intentional movement that gets your blood flowing, your muscles stretched, and your heart reminded that it's still young and strong. Picture this, you wake up, slip on something comfortable, and spend just 10 or 15 minutes moving your body. Maybe it's a slow walk around your garden or down the street, maybe it's some light stretching, or maybe it's a few yoga poses you can do right next to your bed. The kind of movement doesn't matter as much as the act of doing it every day. Think of it as oiling the hinges on a door. If you don't, they squeak and stiffen. But a little daily attention keeps everything smooth. I once spoke with a woman in her 70s who said her secret was starting every morning with a simple routine, 3 minutes of deep breathing, 5 minutes of stretching, and a short walk outside. She laughed as she told me, it takes less time than cooking an egg, but it keeps me feeling 50 instead of 75. And she was right, her energy was contagious. When you move in the morning, you're not just helping your body. You're also waking up your brain. Movement increases blood flow to your mind, helping with focus and memory. It lifts your mood, too, because it sparks the release of feel-good chemicals like endorphins. That's why you often hear people say, I didn't feel like exercising, but once I did, I felt amazing. It's not about breaking a sweat. It's about telling your body and brain, we're alive, and today is going to be good. And here's the beautiful part, morning movement doesn't just make you feel younger at that moment. It builds strength, balance, and flexibility over time, which are exactly what keep us independent as we age. A strong body means fewer falls, fewer aches, and more freedom to do the things you love, whether that's playing with grandkids, gardening, traveling, or simply moving around your home with ease. So, picture your morning now. You've had that refreshing glass of water, you've moved your body, stretched your muscles, and already, you're ahead of the game. The stiffness fades, your mind feels lighter, and suddenly, the day ahead doesn't seem so heavy. But there's one more step to take that makes all the difference, something that doesn't just wake up your body, but also your heart and spirit. And that's where the real magic begins. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now that your body feels alive and your energy is starting to stir, it's time to give your mind and spirit their morning boost. Because feeling younger isn't only about your joints moving smoothly or your heart pumping strong, it's also about having a sense of clarity, purpose, and joy in your day. And the truth is, how you feed your thoughts in the morning matters just as much as how you feed your body. One of the most powerful habits you can add before 8 a.m. is a moment of stillness, reflection, or gratitude. Life moves fast, even after 60. Sometimes it feels like we wake up and immediately get pulled into chores, appointments, or worries. But taking just 5 quiet minutes before the world starts rushing can shift your whole day. Imagine sitting by the window with a warm cup of tea, closing your eyes, and simply breathing deeply. You might let your mind wander to 3 things you're grateful for, or maybe you repeat a phrase to yourself like, "Today, I choose peace," or "My age is not my limit, it's my strength." It may sound simple, but science backs it up. Starting your day with gratitude or mindfulness calms your nervous system, lowers stress, and even strengthens your immune response. People who make it a habit often feel more optimistic and less weighed down by problems. And optimism, as studies have shown, is strongly linked to longer, healthier lives. When your thoughts are lighter, your whole body feels lighter too. I remember talking to an older gentleman who told me he used to wake up every day worrying about his health. What if something goes wrong today? What if I can't keep up with my family, he would think. But one morning, instead of going down that path, he tried writing in a little notebook 3 things he was thankful for. At first, it was hard, he couldn't think of much beyond, "I woke up today." But over time, he started noticing small joys, the sound of birds outside, the smile of a neighbor, the way his body still carried him when he walked. A year later, he swore that one tiny morning shift made him feel like he had turned back the clock, not because his body had changed overnight, but because his perspective had. After nurturing your thoughts, the next step is to fuel your body with the right kind of morning meal. Now, I know breakfast has changed a lot over the years. Some people skip it entirely, others lean on coffee and maybe a pastry, and some stick to old routines like bacon and eggs. But what we eat first thing in the day sets the stage for how we feel, not just in the morning, but all the way into the afternoon. Think of food as fuel. If you pour cheap gas into a car, it may still run, but it won't run smoothly or for very long. Your body works the same way. A sugary breakfast, like pastries or sweet cereals, gives you a quick burst of energy but leaves you crashing and sluggish not long after. A heavy, greasy meal might feel comforting, but it can weigh you down and make you want to crawl back into bed. On the other hand, a breakfast rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats keeps your energy steady, your mind sharp, and your mood stable. That doesn't mean you need anything fancy. A bowl of oatmeal with fruit and a sprinkle of nuts, some eggs with vegetables, or even a smoothie with greens, berries, and a little yogurt can do wonders. These foods nourish your brain and muscles while keeping blood sugar balanced, which is especially important as we age. Balanced blood sugar helps protect your memory, lowers your risk of diabetes, and prevents that mid-morning crash that leaves you feeling older than you are. I once met a woman in her late 60s who used to start her mornings with nothing but coffee and toast. She'd be buzzing with energy for an hour, But by mid-morning she said she felt drained, sometimes even shaky. When she switched to a protein-rich breakfast, 2 boiled eggs and some fruit, she couldn't believe the difference. She laughed and said, "I thought it was normal to feel exhausted by 10 a.m. Turns out, it was just my breakfast." Now, picture where we are. You've given your body water, moved your muscles, lifted your spirit with gratitude, and nourished yourself with the right fuel. Already, the day looks brighter. Your energy feels steady, your mood lighter, and your body younger than it did just an hour ago. But there's still one more piece that ties everything together, something that not only makes you feel younger, but also keeps your mind sharp and your memory strong as the years go on. And it can be done in just a few minutes before the day fully begins. That final piece is giving your brain its own morning workout. Just like your muscles need movement to stay strong, your brain needs stimulation to stay sharp. Too often, the mind gets left behind in our routines. We focus on eating right, taking our walks, doing our stretches, but we forget that our mental muscle also needs to be challenged daily. And here's the amazing part. You don't need to spend hours studying or solving complicated puzzles. Just a few minutes of intentional mental activity before 8 a.m. can help you stay alert, focused, and yes, feeling decades younger. It could be something as simple as reading a few pages of a book, solving a crossword, or even learning a new word. Some people enjoy listening to an audiobook or a podcast that sparks their curiosity. Others like writing a short journal entry to organize their thoughts. What matters most is that you engage your brain in a way that feels fun, not forced. Think of it as waking up your mind to match the energy you've already given your body. There's powerful science behind this, too. Studies show that people who keep their brains active through reading, writing, or problem solving are less likely to experience memory decline as they age. It's like giving your brain a daily shield against aging. And when your mind feels sharp, everything else feels easier. You remember names, follow conversations more easily, and approach challenges with confidence. That kind of mental agility adds years to your quality of life, because independence is deeply tied to how well our brains keep working. I once knew a retired teacher who made it a point to learn one new thing every morning. Some days it was a historical fact, other days it was a recipe or even a foreign phrase. She said it kept her mind alive, like she was still in the classroom, even in her 80s. And you could see it in the way she carried herself. Her curiosity made her eyes sparkle, and she radiated an energy that felt timeless. When you put all of these pieces together, the hydration, the movement, the gratitude, the nourishing breakfast, and the mental stimulation, you start to build mornings that aren't just routines, but rituals of renewal. Each habit by itself is powerful, but together, they create a foundation that lifts you through the entire day. Instead of feeling weighed down by age, you feel lighter, brighter, and more capable. And here's the beautiful truth: none of these things require big sacrifices. You don't need special equipment, a perfect body, or even a big chunk of time. Most of them take only a few minutes. The hardest part isn't doing them, it's choosing to begin. But once you begin, you'll find they fit naturally into your life, like old friends returning to remind you of your strength. So, if you've been feeling like age is pulling you down, I want you to remember this: small changes are incredibly powerful. You don't have to turn your life upside down to feel better. Start with just one of these habits tomorrow morning, and then add another when you're ready. With each step, you'll notice a shift, not just in how your body feels, but in how your spirit wakes up. I believe we're never too old to reclaim our energy and joy. Our mornings can either drain us or fill us, and the choice is in our hands. Imagine how different your days could feel if every sunrise became a fresh chance to renew yourself. That's the gift these habits give you, the chance to feel not just older, but better, stronger, and younger in the ways that matter most. If any of these habits spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else who's looking for that spark of motivation. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more tips on living fully at every age. Here's to brighter mornings, stronger days, and the joy of knowing that age is never a limit, it's simply a number. You have the power to feel 20 years younger, starting tomorrow morning. And I hope you give yourself that gift, because you deserve it.